let's start with very basic stuff, right? So
Okay.
people always ask about, oh, I exercise. I know what do I feel good about it afterwards, and people come to me for train and they feel good after the session, and they continue doing it, and then their conditioning and their lifestyle in general improves. But from a perspective of a professional like a doctor, what would you say like the importance of cardiovascular health is in context of like overall fitness and well-being?
Absolutely important question, because what people do not understand is that cardiovascular health or cardiovascular diseases, they are abrupting because of lifestyle. So if diseases are abrupting because of lifestyle, then definitely the health has to do with lifestyle. And when we talk about lifestyle, it has a lot to do with your activity, it has a lot to do with exercising, and it has a lot to do with diet. So secondly, when we exercise, it's not just about exercising. It's also about what you are taking, what you are not taking, and looking to the aspect that where you actually fulfill everything around. So that is how exercise goes. So when we exercise, how does it impact cardiovascular health? So we know that exercising is, the muscles are in action. When the muscles are in action, they are using, some of the stuff our body, whether it be fat or whether it be glucose. So they are trying to convert it into energy. So we know that it's being converted into energy. So the first good point is it gives you energy. Whatever gives you energy makes you feel good. Also, exercise releases happy hormones called as endorphins. So the whole day later on, you feel, a little more inspired from your own body that, yeah, I can actually do things much better. And then the blood flow improves because your muscles are pumping. So those vessels, the arteries, the vein, they are pumping flow much more better, because each muscle, especially our leg muscles, they are called as pumps. When they are called as pumps, they circulate the blood to your heart. So with that, in just a basic language, if the blood flow is good, if your heart is being supplied good, and if you are feeling good altogether, because it's not just physical health, it's also the mental health that counts.
Right.
So in all together, it's going to improve your heart.
I want to know,
Nice.
Today's world, stress is like a big factor when it comes to heart disease, right? And so what would you say like stress and mental well-being are, like how big part they play in say getting someone like a heart attack or some heart disease for that matter, or any strategies or anything you recommend that people can try to combat that stress that they have?
So when we talk about stress, so as we were talking about, like in the starting, I was letting know everyone that, or rather than everyone knows that the amount of heart issues, attacks have been increasing over the period of time. Earlier, if I say 10 years back, we used to see people of 50s getting attacks, people of 60s. Now we see people of 30s and 40s getting attacks. So the reason, there are a lot of reasons. Definitely lifestyle is one. Our eating habits, our sedentary habits are there. But apart from that, these stress factors come a lot. So let's say for an example, we see our daily roads where we walk, where we go take our rides. So if there is a lot of stress on some road, the whole road doesn't collapses first. There is an area which damages first. So if in your heart, let's say you have a small block out there, the road of the covering of that block becomes very vulnerable with stress, because you are putting extra load on it. It has to bear extra. And because of that, sometimes that covering gets uncovered. And that is what is important for an attack to happen. Because every attack happens with that covering being gone. Because not every block becomes 100% from day one. It starts from 0%, could be 70%, could be 40%, whatever percentage. So that is one of the reasons that stress actually incites. Now, secondly, what does stress do? So we know that whenever we are worked up, or we are, in a state of anxiety, our nerves are activated. Whenever our nerves are activated, we release a lot of hormones, especially, in slang also we say adrenaline drive. There is a lot of adrenaline pumping. So this adrenaline also, what it causes is, it causes the shrinkage, or in medical term we call it as constriction of these arteries. So if your artery is supposedly 2.5 millimeters, because of these circulating hormones it would be maybe 2.25. So if the blood was going from 2.5, now it's going from 2.25, ultimately it's going to make you feel a lot of oxygen not being delivered. So that is over the period of time, slowly the muscles are not getting oxygen. They'll start feeling laxed up, and that leads to sometimes stress induced cardiomyopathies, which is muscle weakness secondary to stress. So yes, there are a lot of things that can happen. So how to combat stress? Because whenever I talk to people around, I would say definitely one thing, that there is no one in this world, especially if they are living, they are without stress. Everyone in their life has a stress, be it a small one, be it a larger one. So to combat it, we just have to utilize ourselves and channelize our energies into a proper direction. Exercise could be very one point of view, because again it releases a lot of happy hormones, so the stress can get converted into a little bit more satisfying things. Other ways could be involving your hobbies into it. So supposedly if you are a music person, you can use music. If you are a sports person, you can use sports. If you have nothing, then I would say cultivate a hobby or do some meditation or yoga. The reason being is because it just lets you ease down those nerves which are going to cause bad effects.